Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. And today we are looking at what we talked about in the live the other day. So for anyone who doesn't know, we have live sessions every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. GMT, and we kind of have a little coaching session, guidance session where we come on and we just kind of discuss where we are on our journey and what we're manifesting, if there are any blocks or anything that we may need a little guidance on that we may not be able to get in our current reality. So with that being said, we're going to have a little look at what it is that we were talking about, and we were actually on about how our thoughts are actually separate from us and how to become aware of this and to cultivate a kind of a habit in actually being aware of our thoughts being separate. So what I mean by this is that I'm sure everyone has heard the concept that you are not your thoughts. And while this is true, we are creating and manifesting from our thoughts. So it's what we actually decide to do with our thoughts that actually matter. If we have a negative thought, for example, we understand that the negative thought is separate. Even the positive thoughts are separate as well too. They're separate in the sense that when we become more aware of them, we can actually observe them. And we can decide if we want to hold on to them, if we want to continue with believing in whatever it is that we are thinking, or if we would rather go a different direction and create a different belief. So we were coming from the perspective of our negative thoughts, and to separate ourselves from our negative thoughts, obviously, if we are really good with keeping our nervous system regulated, we're going to become more consciously aware of our thoughts because it's a byproduct of how calm we are in our system. We become more confident and we become more capable in coming into the present moment and being aware of what it is that we are thinking. However, if you have a negative thought that pops up, it's to be aware of it in the moment and to have little kind of, I suppose you could say, methods in separating yourself from it. So a method could be an example of, okay, I'm noticing this thought coming up. What is this thought related to? Is this thought something that I want to continue, or will I let this thought go? If it is something that I want to continue, then I will continue to think it. If it is a thought that I would rather let go, well, then let me get really honest with myself right now. There's a reason why this thought is coming up. It's nothing to do with me because I am not my thoughts. However, I do have memories from the past. I do have a subconscious mind that has these kind of memories and thoughts from the past, and maybe it's trying to tell me something that I may need to change. Maybe there's a belief there that I actually believe in this limiting thought, and so I'm actually going to have a little kind of a look at it right now. I'm going to process it, and then I'm going to let it go, and then I'm going to move on with a new thought that is limitless, that is actually telling me that this is not the truth for me anymore. So when we get into this kind of habit of recognizing that our thoughts are not actually they're not us. We're not our mind, we're not our body, we're not our thoughts. I think that's a kind of a yoga mantra as well. When we come into this realization that underneath it all, we really are just a spirit, we're a soul energy, and it's really up to us how we decide to recognize these thoughts and how to become aware of them in order to change them. Maybe they're thoughts that we don't want to change, and that's okay as well too. When we have negative thoughts and we are manifesting something, for example, understanding that negative thoughts are something that is always going to be there because we have a subconscious mind that has picked up data for the period of our life. And within that data, which we're also still kind of gathering through social media, thoughts that aren't even our thoughts, and assumptions and concepts that are not even our assumptions and concepts. And so all of this is going into our brain the whole time. It does not mean that we're manifesting it. It just means that it can be in our subconscious mind. And when they pop up, it's to understand that they are, they're not a part of us, they're separate from us, but it's to know that we are changing the beliefs around a thought. It's not that we're completely eliminating every negative thought from our mind. Now, I know if you go into hypnotherapy and you take on this practice of going and doing deep shadow work and reliving past events and reliving them in a different way through hypnotherapy, that is a different kind of concept altogether. But when we are actually doing things on our own and negative thoughts come up, it's understanding that it's just part of the program that was put into our subconscious mind, that these little niggling things have actually nothing to do with anything that we're creating. And even when we are, rewiring the brain, reprogramming the brain as well too, it's not that we are saying that these thoughts are not there and that we can actually write over them, but it's just saying that we're creating new thoughts, we're creating new patterns of thinking. And the process and the period on how we create this new pattern of thinking is what kind of overcomes the negative thoughts, because they become, while they are still, in our subconscious mind, they become a memory that is something that is kind of overcome. We don't really find ourselves thinking about them anymore because we've created this new pattern in our brain of thinking. And that's kind of what we are doing when we are coming into realizing that we are the ones that get to choose and decide what a thought actually means. So I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to do a video on it for anyone who may have missed the live, that we are separate from our thoughts and we are actually the observer of our thoughts. And when we know that we're the observer of our thoughts, that means we get to decide what it is that we want to think this means and what it is that we want to experience from this thought in our reality as well too. So if you have any questions, you can comment down below and I will chat to you soon.